Hi everybody, this is Ollie Cantos here, and I am so excited to bring you this installment of the Visionary series. And today we're going to be talking about something that is extremely important. But first of all, before doing that, wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you who have joined this list and who have dedicated yourselves to listening to the various things that I'm sending you each day. And hopefully and ideally, these things are going to be adding value to your lives, and that is my sincere hope as you work on enhancing the quality of your own life, as well as finding ways to make a difference in the lives of those around you. Today, we're going to be talking about the fundamental importance of being very careful about comparison. There's a lot of danger in comparing ourselves to other people. We do it all the time, or if we're not careful, we may have made it a habit over our lifetime of doing that sort of thing. And the thing that we often don't realize is that when we compare ourselves to those around us, although there is a benefit to it, we have to be very careful, because if we acquire feelings of inferiority in thinking that we can never be like so-and-so, like whoever we're comparing ourselves to, or if we strive to be superior in quality in a particular area of skill to somebody who we emulate, either way, there is a major pitfall. Because in our efforts to try to be like everybody else, in our efforts to try to be like those individuals who we compare ourselves to, we can end up acquiring a sense of inferiority, like feeling like there would actually be no way for us to do the kinds of things that they may have done. But let's use a basketball comparison. For those who really love basketball, they might want to have the kind of talent and ability like Michael Jordan. And so, of course, they want to do all the things that he did and emulate the things that he did. But if they don't have the level of skill, then if they're not careful, they can say, I can never be like him. And in doing that, they can end up setting themselves up for failure in the sense of feeling like they can never be like somebody that great. And so then that leads to frustration and feeling like, oh gosh, I can never be at that level of success. And then that ends up causing a situation where we end up damaging ourselves in terms of our own belief in our ability to succeed. And then the same is true in situations where we try to be superior to somebody who we want to be like, or who we compare ourselves to. Here's the thing, though, and this is something that's really profound if you actually listen to what I'm about to tell you, and that is that it is important for us to look at the success that people have done and to work on emulating what they've done. But here's the thing, we cannot and should not be them or be like them in the sense. In other words, you don't have to be the next Michael Jordan, or you don't have to be the next major corporate executive leader that you emulate. You just have to be you. The thing is, here's the reason. There is no such thing as the standard person. Nobody has ever been exactly like you, and nobody should be. And that's, we always and often hear that, but the fact is that we have to understand that we need not to compare ourselves to those individuals who we want to be like, to the extent that we end up trying to be them. We don't need to be those individuals that we look up to and emulate, but what we need to do is to be the best selves that we can be, all the while taking and emulating the kinds of attributes that those who we admire happen to have. But as we do that, and as we admire those attributes, we must be very careful not to acquire a sense of inferiority by having an inferiority complex, feeling like, oh my gosh, I can never measure up to be that person. Because the thing is, we should never be that person, and nor should they be us. Nobody should be us, and we shouldn't be anyone else. We need to be ourselves, and in being ourselves, we need to be proud of who we are and what we have to contribute, because nobody else can do in the world like exactly what we can do. And so when you recognize that, Think about your lives, whether in business or in your personal lives or finances or with talents that you want to acquire or hobbies that you have or where you see people who are excelling in those things. Of course we want to be like various individuals. Of course we want to make the money of certain individuals. That's how we can be inspired. We just have to make sure to be careful about the danger of comparison. We have to be extremely careful about that, because if we're not, we will inherently and inevitably set ourselves up for failure, because we are going to try to be someone we're not by trying to be them. We can't be them, nor should we be them, nor should they be us. And so we just need to understand that. And when we understand that with a full certainty, then we can really unlock our true potential so that we can be our best selves. So of course the next question is, what is our best selves? Well, the way that we can imagine that is, in order for us to know what our best selves are, we just imagine ourselves in the most ideal way that we feel possible. We don't imagine ourselves as the next fill in the blank, whoever we emulate in the sense, but we imagine ourselves as the greatest fill in your name that you can be. It's not a small distinction. It is very, very important that all of us realize that so many fall into this trap. And then if we're not careful and we end up causing all this frustration in ourselves because we try to be someone that we're not by looking at their qualities and being frustrated because we can't do quite exactly what they do, then we end up being frustrated and then we end up sabotaging our own success. And I'm here to tell you that you have every right in the world to be the most successful you that you can be. Yes, learning from the qualities of others and the behaviors of others, but making sure not to strive to be them. Strive to be the best you that you can be. And so for those of you who might have had struggle in the past and you'd say, well, gosh, why would I want to strive to be me when I want to be like so-and-so? Well, hey, you know what? The fact is that if you think that you don't have the kind of qualities that people should emulate, or you don't think that you have the kind of good qualities that others may want to be like, I'm here to challenge you to change that way of thinking. It is so easy if we allow ourselves to have the same kind of victim mentality that so many people have. It's so easy for us to destroy our own chances and to shoot ourselves in the foot and to destroy our own ability to succeed. Where the real obstacles that we run into in our lives aren't necessarily the external world. They're us. And when we understand that those external obstacles are not really necessarily the biggest obstacles in the world, where the biggest obstacles are within ourselves, what we need to do is unlock those things and destroy all of those obstacles by literally just accepting not only who we are, but embracing and loving who we are. And if we say, oh my gosh, how would anybody love me as me? The fact is that you have extreme and intense worth, and that will never change. It can never change. The fact that you are you means that you have inherent worth, period. That is non-negotiable. That is absolutely non-negotiable. Your value as a human being has already been set. It is your birthright. It is our birthright to be who we are and to be proud of who we are. So please, with whatever you do in business or in your personal relationships or your personal life or in anything else that you might happen to think about in terms of striving to be better, be you. And I really mean that. All of you be you. And so when you think about involvement with the prosperity team as part of the Empower Network, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, well, do I have to be a certain way? No. What you need to do is you need to be the best you. And you need to bring to this the kind of quality and skill that nobody else in the history of this business or in the future of this business can ever bring, because nobody else can be you. You get that? Do you see what I'm saying here? Can you feel the kind of passion I'm trying to speak into here, folks? You have what it takes. Whatever your background is, no matter who you have been, no matter what struggles you faced, no matter what setbacks you've had in the past, so what? You can make it. It's just literally a decision away for you to do it. It really is, and it's a major decision where you decide in a moment that you're going to do whatever it takes, you're going to learn from people, and then you're going to put your own brand and your own spin on things so that way you make this system your own. Yes, we show you how to blog. We show you how to do search engine optimization. We show you about email marketing. We talk about all of those things. We talk about traffic generation and finding different ways to create leads. But you know what? We're each our own individual persons. We each do things our own way. Nobody, no individual leader or follower for that matter, does it exactly the same way. That is because we're all different. We embrace that. So whatever you have to bring to the table, bring it. Bring it. Bring what you've got. Bring those assets to the table, knowing that those assets that you bring to the table are exactly what this business needs. I am not kidding you, folks. What you have to bring to the table is exactly what people need. Believe that. Believe that when you work and you strive and you succeed, and when you believe in yourselves and you surround yourselves with people who will build you up even when you have moments of doubt, that you have found the place where you'll find all of that and where people will surround you and who will build you up even when they're not even part of your direct business. We're all here to support each other. You have found the right place of where to be. Know that for a fact that you have found it. You found it here and you found it with me. How grateful I am that you have found it here and you're watching this video. My gosh, I'm just so appreciative. I mean, literally, the number of people that we reach every day just keeps increasing, and it's done through law of attraction, it's done through expectation, it's done through trial and error, it's done through all sorts of ways. But I'm building this business the Ollie Cantos way, but that doesn't mean you build it the Ollie Cantos way. You build it your way. And as you build it your way, imagine all the amazing things that are going to happen as I tap you into the very system that I've tapped into, where I have learned how to bring out the best in myself, and then you get to bring out the best in yourselves. Imagine how awesome is that, where finally you don't have to shape yourself to being anybody different than who you are. The only difference that you'd be making are the personal changes you decide to make. How cool is that? So here are my action assignments for you today. Okay? I want you to think about who you've compared yourselves with in the past. And even if that means that you've been frustrated in the past because of not being able to measure up to those people who you compare yourselves to, okay? And then, as you think of those people, let it go. Let it go in the sense of saying, you know what, you're not inferior to those people. You're not superior to those people. You're just you. And for that matter, if they were to compare themselves to you, it's the same thing. They're neither inferior to you nor superior to you. They're just themselves. So when you embrace who you are and you love who you are and you know that we love you for who you are, then join us. So my first action assignment for today is I want you to look at and take an honest look at instances in your lives, including right now, where you're comparing yourselves to people who you're trying to be like, where you've been frustrated because you don't feel like you ever can measure up. I want you to look at that honestly, and I want you to just throw it away. Get rid of it. And realize that you can start today and do something completely different. I want this to be a real breakthrough for you. The second thing is, if you aren't a part of my list already, go to visionary-team.com and enter your best email address and hit the submit button. So that way we can stay in touch with one another on a regular basis. And then I'll show you along the way how you take action every day. We don't learn everything each day. What we do is we take daily deliberate steps and we get better and better and better each day. That's how we move forward. We don't wait and just study something to death and then eventually by the time we think we know it, by then the whole market may have changed. Instead, just take action and do it. Okay? If you already are a part of my list, then I want you to click the link at the bottom of this, and I want you to get right involved. Join my business right now. Right now, at the bottom of this link, there's a place there, and I want you to do it. Get out your credit card. Just do it. And we're going to be able to join together, do all sorts of things together, but the first step is that you need to take that next step. And then when you do that, I'm not kidding you. When we talk, I will just work hard on speaking life into you and telling you how much I believe in you and how much I really, really mean it. Heck, if a blind guy can do a video, I don't even know if I'm fully facing right, but I'm trying to get better each day. You could do any of this stuff that I'm doing, you can do. You could probably do better than me. But again, it's not comparison. Just do it your way, right? Okay, so first action step, get rid of all of that stuff with the comparisons. Look at the things that have happened. Second thing, join my list or get involved with the business, or both. Okay? So that's it for today. My best to you, and thank you for continuing to watch this series. We have a lot to do together. We have a lot to cover, so there's going to be a lot more on the way, so stay tuned, and I'd love for you to get involved with us and watch. When you do, I am going to spotlight you on one of these videos, and it's going to be amazing. So I will see you soon, and thank you so much.